Wait, what am I hearing? Oh, my phone. Oh my god, my phone is not muted. Hold on. I'm an idiot. Ah. I don't like hearing myself. What the hell? There we go. Hello, hello everyone. How's everyone doing today? Oh, Xian, thank you so much for the lark. Yumi, 15 stream streak. Holy shit. I'm gonna... Why are you crying? Yumi, why are you crying? What's going on? Hello, Limey. Hello, Alpha. Congratulations on getting first. You were so fast. Jesus. Yumi, no cry, okay? No cry. Oh wait, I wanted to pin something. There we go. There it is. How is everyone? How's everyone doing today? Also, Limey, I hope you had a really great birthday, by the way. Tell me what you were up to. What did you eat? Hold on. I want to pin this. Yumi already found it. But, there we go. I have a new YouTube channel now for shenanigans. I'm stressed because of exams, so I wanted to blow some steam off by playing Beat Saber, but the left controller is broken. It keeps disconnecting and suddenly all vibrations stopped as well. Oh no. Yumi, what kind of headset are you using? What kind of VR headset? Don't cry, shorty is crazy. Anyways, that's all the venting I'm gonna do. I don't want to drag the mood down, but no, it's okay. You can vent. I don't mind it if you vent in my stream. Quest 2? Okay. You know what? Maybe I'll just send you my left controller. I'll just send you my left controller and then you can play again. That works, right? I only need the right one anyways. Wait, doesn't Beat Saber have also like hand detection? Since you have a Quest 2? Doesn't that also work with hand detection? I thought the Meta might do replacements for free despite being out of warranty, but I'm not counting on it. Oh, I pray for you. I pray that you get that you get a replacement for free. Also, hi Amon, nice cock, nice balls. No clue. Honestly, you should find that out because I know Quest 2 has hand detection. It's obviously not as good as controllers, like Alpha said, but I feel like you might still be able to play it. It might not just be as accurate with like, you know, clicking on stuff, but if it's for Beat Saber, you should be fine, I think. The sync is horrid. I see. For fast move. Okay, then maybe not for Beat Saber. Oh man, that's a shame. That is a shame. I just hope you can get a replacement for free, yeah? If it doesn't track as well as controllers, I'll die. I play on X and Expert Plus. That shit goes fast. That's fair. I have no idea how fast that is, so it's probably, yeah, maybe, yeah, ignore me. I guess that wouldn't work out then. That might just be better suited for like normal play then. Ah, man. That really sucks. A replacement is 80 euros? Bro. You saw me suffer? What do you mean? You have no idea. Listen. Literally all I remember, because you stream so late, so like my brain is already off when you like stream, and you obviously can't save those in a VOD, so I cannot even watch the VOD. But the one thing I remember from your Beat Saber streams, Alpha, is the Tequila song. That's literally it. That's the I think about that moment a lot. Hi Singer, I hope you're doing well. But yeah, that is the one moment I remember. Yeah, I don't know. I also remember you don't play expert because it's too fast. Am I remembering it wrong? Hold on, let me recalibrate. There we go. That's a bit better. That's a bit better. No, alpha. I meant alpha. You're remembering it wrong? Okay, okay. Never mind. Never mind. Ignore me. I'm doing alright, Singer. I'm not great, but at least better than yesterday. A little bit anyways. But yeah. But yeah. I don't play Fitbeat. I have no idea what that is. Man. 80 bucks is a lot for a replacement thingy that could like break so easily too. Like, what the hell? Senpai, hello! Hello, hello! Eliverdactyl. That's my dinosaur name. Fitbeat is an awful invention and should go die in a ditch. What is Fitbeat? Hold on, I'm gonna Google that now. I want to hate on it with you guys. Fitbeat. Is it like a cheap Beat Saber knockoff? What is this? It looks like... Oh, wait. This is it's a Beat Saber thing. Nibby! Hi, Nibby! Hello, hello! Wait, let me read. I mean, very, very, very few songs are worth it. Like 5. That's a lot of songs. I can body Fitbeat on hard. Don't talk to me about expert. That's very fair. It's basically a specific way of mapping that makes you move a whole bunch more than usual. Oh, Fitbeat songs are songs in the game where they throw walls for you to... Oh, so that's what Fitbeat is. Yeah. Okay, I saw that. I saw people play that. I was wondering where the fucking walls came from all of a sudden. And balls to the... Yeah. Okay. I had no idea that was an entirely different branch of Beat Saber. Okay. Yeah, not for me, bro. Not for me. Nibby, how are you today? Are you feeling a bit better? How are you feeling, Nibby? Some normal songs have basic walls. Fitbeat has that type. Yeah. I saw somebody play Fitbeat, and there was suddenly like so much going on, and I was like, how the fuck? What? So that must have been Fitbeat. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'll probably be quiet. I don't want to bring down Nibby. Well, everyone is feeling bad today. Man. Yumi is feeling bad. Nibby is feeling... I can't have that. What the hell? Ugh. I have something in my eye. Hold on. Today is just feel bad day, it seems. But I hope you guys feel better soon. I downloaded a playlist once with custom Fitbeat songs, suffered through half of 2 of them, deleted them, and never touched it since. That's me with Dark Souls. I just can't do it, bro. I get too angry, too frustrated at that kind of stuff. But yeah, you guys, please feel better. Treat yourself to something nice today. Drink tea. You can, let's go. No. No. At least not on stream, I think. I don't like being frustrated in front of people. Oh. Oh yeah. Where's Lucy? I have to keep an eye on Lucy. She's not feeling well either. I think she's a bit sickly. Ah, boy. I guess something's just in the air. I relate so much to you when it comes to Souls games. Like, don't get me wrong, I want to play them. I really want to. I want to like, you know, learn the lore and all the stories, and like there's a bunch of other like Souls-like game that I really want to play. Like what was that one game? Wait. Like Lies of what is it? Like the Pinocchio thing. What is it? Lies of P? I think that's what it's called. I want to play. Yeah, Lies of P. Okay, yeah. I want to play that one so badly because it looks beautiful, and like the whole vibe of it is like exactly my vibe. It's perfect. It's just I can't play those types of games without getting too frustrated. It's the seasonal depression. Yep. Piss lies. We just call it piss lies from now on. That's gonna be my Souls game at some point. I'm gonna put myself in the game and call it piss lies. But yeah, it be like that sometimes. Everything just gets a bit weird, like right before the end of the year. So I understand. But yeah, I talked about the new YouTube channel. If you like Let's Plays and stuff like that, feel free to subscribe. Because that's mostly what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to just upload the games that I don't play on stream or can't play on stream up there. You know, because Twitch definitely has some games banned that people want to see me play, but I'm not really sure how to show that without getting banned off Twitch. So I figured, you know what, let me just make a YouTube channel. But there's also like gonna be other stuff that seems a bit too much for a whole stream and stuff like that. So I just upload videos there now whenever I feel like it. But though I know that's usually not like the stuff that stream watchers are usually into. So that's probably gonna be for a whole different kind of audience, which is fine. Even if it's just for myself, who cares? But yeah, I wanted to get back to the Ellie, tell me, are fish people milkable? Yes. Everyone is milkable if you just try hard enough, Crooked. Trust me. If you try it out, let me know your findings, alright? Keep a log. Also, I hope you're doing okay today, Crookie. Crooked. True, I'm milk. Okay, I'm on. Yeah, I know. You know what? Yeah, okay. Alright. Not that kind of milkable, okay? That's what I said. Yeah, see? Everyone is. Everyone and everything is milkable. If you try hard enough. I mean, have you ever seen titties on a fucking nut? We still have nut milk. You know? We can figure it out. We can figure it out. The weird. It's so fun. Whoa, is that Waffle in my chat? Holy hell. Hi, Waffle. How are you? It's good to see you. Hello. That's a cute cat emote. Today is the day of cat emotes. Hello, how are you? How are your toes is a crazy question. I stopped paying attention for like a second and we were talking about nuts with titties. Well, I'm just talking about nut milk, you know what I mean? And Crooked was asking about milking, so it's like, whatever, it's a whole thing. You know what, Yumi? Stop paying attention again. Don't pay attention anymore. I'm at work, just chilling. Okay. I hope you everything at work goes well for you today. It's the weekend soon. You can do it. Don't give me that sus emote. Don't do that. But yeah, what was I gonna say? It's the natural progression of a conversation. True. Especially when it's on stream. Somehow stream conversations just completely tend to derail at some point. Even if we're only like 20 minutes in. But yeah. Yeah, also Crookie. We gotta play that janitor game again. And this time we have to drag Nibby into it as well. Jeez. I want to drag Nibby into that Ghost Janitors game. Apparently they just had an update too. I want to play it more often. Wait, what is that classic emote? Where is that from? Is that a global one? Yeah, drag this into it. Pants. Amon, you need to be in a cage, I swear to God. Yeah, we do, yeah. Yeah, please leave. Just leave. Man, what was I gonna say? Right. I wanna get back to that up or down game today. Because we didn't really get far into it last time. We only really got the intro. And then we probably... if we have time, I want to go back to Lover's Enigma and crash out again when it comes to the mother. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how much time we have today. And how much energy. Yesterday took a lot out of me. I'm gonna be so real with you. I still feel like really sluggish. We'll see though. I'm on vacation in 2 weeks, so we can pick a time with... Perfect. Perfection. 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. Okay. It's an Elden Ring speedrunner. Shido uses my account to watch on the TV. Oh my god. Okay, I see. Yeah, speaking of soul stuff, huh? But yeah, yeah. I think, what a nerd. Right? Shido is such a nerd, bro. Like, what the hell? I'm blanking again. Hold on. Right, I wanted to start up the game. Not much more yapping today. Bro, somebody told me I should stream on Kick. And I was like, I don't think we'll do that. I don't think we'll do that. Probably not. But maybe we will. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to go to Kick. Like, nah. Like, I know Twitch is completely going to shit, but I hope YouTube is gonna work out then, because Kick would be like the last resort. Chuva, hello. Just saying, I found you again, you. I was found again with the feed tag, guys. It's working. Welcome. I hope you're doing well, Chuva. I would just keep that tag there. I put it there as a joke for like one stream. And but it seems to be effective. I think I just keep it there. That's really funny. I hate that. Me too. Me too, man. Me too. Where is my game? Why is it not starting up? Why is my computer just having issues these days? The joke just got serious. Yeah, right. Like, at some point it's not a joke anymore. Now it's actually attracting people's attention. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me force close it. Let me restart it, like, fully. It shouldn't take that long to start up. Miss Lucy? Miss Stuart? Huh? Oh. Oh, no. This is not food. Hold on. You can bite on this thing. Yeah. Okay. Look, I really need to make that command. Like, God damn it. Hold on. Hold on. Lucy and Einstein. There we go. I have so many things to do, man, but I just don't have the time to do them.
Drink water, you dehydrated.
Hi, Zonk. I will. I'm drinking tea. I swear to God, I'm gonna eat any and all misbehaving technology at this rate. Me too, man. I'm getting sick of it. I had 2 stream crashes because of that shit now. Because stuff just randomly freezes up and I don't know what it is. And it's all because I fucking updated Windows, bro. It's... Song, how are you today? How you feel? Oh God, I'm dying. How are you feeling? Maybe it will pressure the rest into being good. Yeah. Well, you know, everything is fine as long as I don't need a new RAM. Cause fuck that shit, bro. Ellie, did the bike miss? Or is my stuff broken? No, it just missed. My bad. Oh God, yeah. Anything but needing a new RAM at this point, bro. I'm scared. Like, I'm actually scared. You hit the nail on the head? Yeah. Okay, I did. You're also dying. That's good. I mean, that's not good. It's just, you know what I mean. But yeah, guys, I'm scared. I'm scared of computer issues now. Because who the fuck can afford that? My bike hit, it was just invisible. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, hold on. I grab food real quick. Okay. My game is working. Let's go.
Drink water, you dehydrated.
I drink. Okay. We don't need background music anymore. There we go. You feeling better? A little bit better than yesterday, but I'm still pretty damn exhausted, like both physically and emotionally. But I figured I'm a try to stream anyways, even if it might just be, you know, a short stream or something like that. But yeah, it's a tasty art deco. Yeah. I really wanted to get back to this because I want to know what it's all about. You know what I mean? Oh, let me recap. So we got a job as a bellhop. We have that blonde guy as our manager or as our boss, and I don't like him at all. But he gave us a taser for God knows what kind of reason. he gave us a taser. We also have the lady, I think Moss is her name. We have the lady talking in our ear, about evacuation sort of mission. But we're just a bellhop, so I feel like so we do have to investigate people and asking them how they're feeling and stuff like that. And we had the tutorial guy. I suppose it's the tutorial guy, the guy who listens to music. And then we didn't really get any further because I had to scramble to get ready for the collab. But I think that is like the whole intro. Oh God. You know where to find me when you want to yap? Yeah, I know. I just, usually I go quiet instead of, yapping about my problems. I should, Change the category. I don't think this has a Twitch category, so I'll just go games and demos. That should be good enough. Okay. Yeah, I do that too, and the result is me plucking all my hairs out. I don't pluck my hairs out, but they do go gray. they gray, and they are graying at a faster rate, but at least it looks kind of cool, so I don't even mind it anymore. Me too, girly, me too. I know, we're kind of the same. We're pretty much the same in that regard. But yeah, we'll figure life out eventually. I'm balding, wish to turn gray. Yeah, okay, I guess balding is like more... It's like an issue that guys have a little bit more than just graying. That is also very unfortunate. But you know, it can look cool too. Thank you for the lark, Nibby, and Ellie, thank you for the big cat pet. I feel like I forgot something, but I don't know what it is. We'll figure it out. Oh wait, I know what I forgot. I want to have the dynamic lighting. Hold on. I want to use that more often. Especially for like spookier games. There we go. Now I blend into the environment. There we go. Hi Anna, hello. If you forgot, it probably wasn't necessary. True, that's true. The dynamic lighting is not necessary at all. But it looks cooler. But yeah, I learned I have to break my patterns to get better, so just go yap, I guess. I know it's hard to take my casual tone too serious. No, I get it, I mean, you're right though. Sometimes, like, talking about it does make it feel a bit, you know, not as bad sometimes anyways. So talking does help. Just, you know, not always. And sometimes it feels like it really doesn't help. But like in hindsight, then you realize it kind of helped actually. But yeah, it's always like a case-by-case type of thing. And Abba, I hope you're doing well. Okay, I think this game did not have save state, so we started the beginning again. But I'm not going to read all of it. We got the whole intro anyways, like last time. Ronald was his name, and our name is Jimmy. Okay, and this is where he gave us the taser. I made my character in Where Winds Meet. Took me 5 hours. Oh, wow. No, I understand that actually. It took me like 3 hours to make my character in Where Winds Meet. The character creator is really fun in that game. At least I hope you mean Where Winds Meet. Otherwise, I would not know which game you mean. Look at this dapper motherfucker, right? 4 for face, 1 to dial down the skin. That makes sense, yeah. Okay, and we are completely shocked about the taser. Oh, and I forgot. What is her name? Mrs. Graves, right? Miss Graves. I forgot. Oh my god, how did I forget about her? She is the creepy thing that I have no idea what she's about. But I want to know. Limey, why are you throwing piss at me? He has a piss filter on, so yellow. Yeah. Miss Graves would. I'm sure you would. Hold on. I'm gonna show you what Miss Graves does to you. Okay. Oh yeah, and our mom is on the... This is what's gonna happen to you, Anub. Just so you're aware. Just so you know. She's like a praying mantis if you have sex with her. I mean, sure. Okay. All right. Yeah. You're in a good mood like me. That's good. That's good. I'm happy. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh my god, we look so tired, bro. Oh, actually, I can match him. Hold on. I want to match our character. I want to look tired too. I'm looking tired now. Do I? Yeah, that worked. Okay, we're both tired now. We're Jimmy. We are Jimmy, and Jimmy is I. Okay, and Mandy is the one who flirts with all the customers, but I don't think we... No, we didn't meet Mandy. We just talked about her. Okay. I just want to get through the intro, because we've done all of this.
Hey.
There is like some type of weird outbreak, like virus outbreak. So we have to like make sure that none of the guests that are coming into the elevator are infected. Look, if the reason for my demise is getting suffocated because of motorboarding, I'd gladly accept it. I understand. If anything, that's how I want to go too. You have chicken nuggets? Let's go. Okay, and yeah, and we can inspect things like this. And we get this dirty ass earbud that we have to put in our ears, which is really gross. But thanks for asking how I am. Actually lightened my mood today a little. Oh, yeah, of course. I hope it gets better for you, Zonk. I really do. Oh, right. This is our inventory. Okay.
Yeah.
Time is money. You're right. You're right. Let me go, Ronald. Which one did we go for? Yes, let's go with this one. Yeah. And she tells us we don't have much time. There's only 2 seats on the rescue helicopter. But I'm not sure if that counts for me as well. I'm not sure if that means I can have like 2 people in my elevator, or if it has to be me and one more person. There are 2 seats available. But yeah, I'm assuming it counts me as well, because I'm pretty sure I need to be rescued as well. Why are you showing middle fingers? Oh yeah, and we really need to know if our mom is on that freighter. Okay. U+1 probably. Yeah, I think so too. I think that's gonna be the hardest part. Have you gone up or down? Both. Also, hi Crooked. Hello over on YouTube. Perhaps you should go left. If there's anything I learned from watching Queso, it means that you always go left. Ugh. I showed my mom some clips today. Oh, jeez. Do you mean like some of the peak clips? Limey chose violence, true. She craves the violence. Okay, yeah. And we have so many floors here.
Dehydrated bitch.
I'm drinking. Okay, 3rd floor it is. Oh no, hold on. There. I can do this, blah blah blah. Okay, and this is the demolished party room. Tell my mom I love her, I will. Oh man. Go right, I'm going right. Okay, what was the other guy's name? And he just straight up walks in. I can't even like inspect him or anything. I can't. She's yelling at me for letting a civilian in. She laughed so hard she started crying. Did you notice what I did the other day when you pressed that? What? No, I didn't. What did you do? That day was so busy. I didn't really notice anything other than stream stuff. So, oh, wait, did you actually send me like $1 or something? Don't do that. Don't spend your money on me, even if it's $1. Okay. Wait, what's his name? Nigel. Nigel is his name. Okay, and we, he's just blah, blah, blah. Okay, and oh yeah, and his glasses. €1, but yeah, felt generous. Well, thank you. And yeah, and this tag here. It's yeah, it says help me TI. Backwards. I don't know what TI means though. But yeah, we figured out that this means help me in backwards. That's his hair comb. I don't think there was anything here. No. Oh, and his busted charging cable, and that's where we stopped basically. That's where we stopped last time. Look how busted this is. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna spend all my birthday money on you, right? Don't do that. I would ban you if you did that. Okay, so time to tell Moss she's worrying over nothing. Moss, he seemed also. There's one thing about this game that I like. If you have one of the choices to make, you actually have to like keep your mouse button pressed to actually choose it. So that means you can't accidentally click on something, which is really, really cool. I like that. I wish more games with the kind of choose your own thing feature had that kind of thing, where you just can't accidentally click on something. Fine till proven dangerous. What's that? You're not off the hook yet. Aren't we forgetting something? Don't tell me we need to strip him. Oh yeah, and that's why Greasy got all excited about stripping the poor guy. We're not doing that, by the way. What? No, Bellhop, you've been in Vegas for too long. I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. No shit. Anyways, the guest list. Where is it? Oh, yes. Well, I don't have it. What do you mean? Call Ronald. Now. Okay, now we have to call our boss. Our boss also forgot to print us a guest list. So I guess we keep having to call him to, like, actually compare names and stuff. Which is kind of, you know, inconvenient, but it is what it is. If it isn't Shimmy Boy. I take it you're actually working instead of dozing off. Of course, sir. I'd just like to check the guest list. Sure, who's the victim? Is there any Nigel on the list? Yes, a short black guy. He stinks. What? It's so rude. What the hell? What you see matches the description? Yes, sir. Thanks. Alright, call me when you have the next guest in front of you. Some of our guests are quite colorful. As usual, no? Not per se. And then there's one that seems to void you of all color. Of all light. What? Is he talking about the lady? Be careful of that one. Will do. You heard the man. And interrogate before people enter the elevator. Understood? Yes, sir. I mean, ma'am. If you're in trouble, that's on me. That's why from now on, I'll be confirming your floors. Make sure we are aligned till we meet on the roof. Do you copy? Of course. Moss out. Okay. I got this. Alright, next victim. Victim. That's crazy.
Cheese.
Hi, Cheese Man. Hello, hello. Okay, 5th floor. Floor 5. Copy that. See? That wasn't so hard. I'm scared of what we're gonna see next. She's enjoying this way more than I do. Oh, a gym. She still hasn't said anything about mother. Okay, listen up. Before you may enter, I have to... Yo, what's the hold up? Oh. Today we're leaving, right? Or am I wrong? No, sir. Good, step aside. No. We're gonna... Heed my words, bellhop. I would be stuttering too, me too. Moss out. More like said. Yumi. Yumi, my goodness. I am afraid I can't let you join us, sir. Flynn is his name, Flynn. He do be hot. Is that like... What kind of tattoo is that? Like a dolphin? A dolphin tattoo? Yumi, you okay? I think Yumi is just fine. Why not? I mean, not yet anyway. Are you doing okay, sir? Do I look okay to you? I've been locked in here for fuck knows how long. I'm living on drops and crumbs and you're asking if I'm okay? Understood. Now, what's your name? Flynn, what's yours? Jimmy, sir. Well, sir, Jimmy. Just Jimmy, sir. I don't care, sir or no, sir. Let me tell you what happens next. If I don't get on this elevator right this second, I'm going to... Shit, that one is trouble. I should... Wait. Oh, it's like a shark. I think it's a shark tattoo. I got my IUD reinserted. My hormones are all whack. Yeah, don't come for her. She's recovering right now. I can't stay here. Haven't seen the sun in ages, yo. I can barely breathe in here. Understood, sir. Much appreciated. I'll first have to check all of your belongings, though. Seriously? Apologies, sir. Got my orders from above. Fine. Lucky craving. So he's a smoker. Smoking kills, you don't say. Cigarettes, huh? Why am I not surprised? Yeah. Smoking clogs your arteries. Causes cancer. Blah, blah. 777. Okay. I'd also be pissed if I had to smoke them. Thank you for the lark, Yumi. I'm now watching from work, but I love the outfit. Thank you, Insanity. I hope you can hear me. Thank you. I hope work goes well for you. Oh, that's a condom. Okay. What does this say? Sometimes you don't gamble. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. At least he's practicing safe sex. That's good. I'm doing work that I'm probably not qualified for, but YOLO. Well, good luck with that, Insanity. I read something you don't need for... Oh my god. Gamble with who? Wait, where's the perforations? I don't know. Fuck if I know. The punching bag? Perfume. Ah, okay. Sweet citrus. Oh, he smells nice. Okay. Well, I appreciate seeing this. 50% off. Let's go. He got a deal on it too. Does it belong to him though? Okay. Please. Hey, Ronald, sir?
Hey.
Jimmy, what am I paying you for? You've already asked me that question. Sorry, there was a typo in there. Exactly. Don't make me ask it again. I hope you're having another guest to check. I have, sir. His name is Flynn. Oh no, that wannabe Chimbro with the shark tat? That's him, thanks. Don't talk so short at him. You might regret it. Understood, sir. What should I do? Well, we can take him with us. But then again, okay, so yeah, we'll find out what it means with 2 people. We'll find out. Take Flynn on board. Thanks. Normally I'd say you're welcome, but I guess we'll have to see about that one. Floor 10. Floor 10, got you. Well, oh. Guess we have two people on board now. It's getting cozy now, isn't it? Just need to keep the peace for a couple of minutes. Should be a piece of cake, right? I don't know about that one, Chief. This is going to be a long ride. Some people can be really annoying. What's this crap anyway? Oh. Oh, he stole his headphones. Hey, give it back. How can you even listen to this shit? Give it back or I'll... Or you'll what? Oh no, hold on, my throat is already dying. I kind of want to see... Just watch the show. Well... That's what I thought. Pathetic. You should hit the gym. For fuck's sake. Who gave you these anyway? My crappy quality is all I can hear right now. Get rid of this garbage. Listen to some real bangers. By the looks of you, you have no discipline, nor taste, so why do you even bother? If you can't afford it. Okay, I don't want to hear that from a guy who needs 50% off perfume to smell good, I'm just saying. News reporter. New symptom found. Deluxe resort prepared for the first day of Las Vegas rescue parties. Oh, there's like a whole... What is happening here? Are we in the... Is this some Stranger Things stuff? Like the Upside Down just cracking into the actual real life world? Thank you for the lurk, Ellie. We're interrupting Betty Eats Pigs for what seems to be progress in the discovery of symptoms. Symptoms associated with this new outbreak reported right after a heavy earthquake hit sunny California. According to recent studies, anyone who carries a bad smell could potentially be a threat to any normal human being. Okay, so if you smell, you're dangerous? Potentially? Moreover, scientists confirm that anyone displaying these symptoms hides violent urges. Urges that, if not identified soon enough, potentially, Jesus, lead to grave cases of crimes, such as assault and even murder. That is all. Stay inside, stay safe, and may the storm be over soon. Now back to Betty Eats Pigs. What is that show? You can keep your trash. Hi, Einstein. Bellhop. Bellhop, come on in. It's Jimmy, ma'am. Well, what are you waiting for? That's your cue. First, stop the elevator. I'm stopping the elevator right now. Already stopped it for you. Yo, that's neat. Why didn't I know before we got ourselves a guardian angel? Maybe if you weren't so No, I'm not Mandy. I'm not talking shit about my guests. I have other stuff on my mind, right?
Drink water, you dehydrated bitch.
I hydrate, thank you. Yo, bellhop. Yes? Who's the ma'am you're talking to? What do you mean? She's hot? She's single? What tea you drinking? Ginger tea. She hot? She's single? I'm surrounded by... No. Must resist. Or should I? What if I told you she's the AI controlling this elevator who only listens to my voice? Hey, ma'am. Yes? You hear that? She notices me, alright? Sweetie, are you seeing someone? One more word out of your sorry mouth and your ass ain't going anywhere. Don't you dare. Jesus. Best tea, great pun potential, true. Best tea is green tea though, but I ran out of green tea, unfortunately. Otherwise I would be drinking that. But my brother upstairs had some ginger tea laying around and I asked him if I could have like a couple of tea bags and he said yes. So now I have ginger tea. When tea time's over, inspect everyone. Let's get this over with. What do you mean inspect? Okay, so how do I inspect people? Let's inspect Nigel first. I'm afraid I'm going to have to smell you now. I'm afraid I'm going to have to smell you now, Nigel. I don't want to smell people. Oh, okay. Oh, so help me. Mom, forgive me for not getting a better job when I had the chance. And? I'm sorry to say this, but he could use a shower. That's the least you could say. Hey, back off, okay? The moment I'm out of here, I'll take care of it. You'll see. I'll smell. Okay. Well, isn't this nice? I'm afraid I'm not following, ma'am. The three of you, acting as if nothing is wrong. What's wrong? This guy could be a killer, and you would let him come with us. Yeah, exactly. Like, so the news report said that if you smell, you might potentially be like a threat. So what do I do? I mean... You mean what? A bar of soap will fix it? This outbreak turns people into killers, Jimmy. One wrong call and the people on that freighter will die. One wrong call and we'll let them stay here, right? Stay here? Oh no, Ronald really didn't say anything. Wait, oh no, Ronald really didn't say anything. Say what? You never wondered why you had to be in this particular elevator? Why, ma'am? Try to lift the floor tile in the middle of the elevator. What? Jesus Christ, that's dangerous. My goodness. Hi, Einstein. Hello. I think Einstein is hungry, so I'm gonna run some really quick ads, and I'm gonna go feed the cats real quick, and then we get back. Yeet them? Yeah, Can I yeet myself, I wonder, but we'll see, we'll see. I will run a quick ad real quick, and I will be right back. I will be right back. But the cat's hunger, you know how it is. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Ads are almost over. Okay. It seems Lucy is eating at least, which is good. I do worry about her a little bit though. Alright. Okay. Hi, Song. Thank you for the lark. Thank you. Alright, why? Oh, damn. It's open. Why is it loose? Because all sick need to go through that gap. Jesus. What? So you better be sure whether Nigel checks out. Moss out. Hey, Nigel? Yes? What's up? Since when do you have your smell? I don't know. Why? I'd like to know. I don't like to talk about it. I'm still going to have to know. Ever since I've hit puberty, people have been calling me names. Fatty, hairy, smelly. Whenever I paid attention to that, I'd sweat even more. During gym hours, the teacher let me have my own changing room. Damn, is your smell that bad? Holy hell. Amen to his classmates. Hey. No, he's right. A blessing and a curse. Then one day, my 16th birthday happened and my grandma gave me these headphones. What does that have to do with... She passed away 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry to hear that, Nigel. It's okay. I took my car and ended up here. Headphones. Okay, but I don't need your life. I'm sorry, Nigel. I feel sorry for you, but I don't need your life story right now. Because you could potentially be a killer, and I'm a bit nervous right now. I took my car and ended up here. Headphones on. The lo-fi albums and cooking podcasts I've listened to on repeat. They bring me back. So yeah, there you go. I've always smelled, and these bad boys made me forget about that. That's all there is. Thanks for sharing, Nigel. I should check his belongings again. Should I? Help me. I still don't know what TI means. I don't know. Oh. Oh wow, I totally missed this button somehow. What the fuck? A knife? What does he need that for? And now I have to pretend I didn't see anything. What? Well, I didn't see a thing. I didn't see a thing. Okay. Now, Flynn. Now, if you could lower yourself so we can all move along with our day. What? I'm afraid I have to smell you, so if you please, back off. Fine, we're not going anywhere then. Good. It's time for a cig anyway. What did I tell you earlier? Dude, didn't you see the news? What's it to you? People are dying left and right, and you don't care what... Okay, but it's not like you really cared about it either before this, Nigel. I don't... I don't know. He keeps being weird. I care about getting out. So lower yourself. I'll even give you your cigarette back if you promise not to smoke it. Just sniff him. We don't care if you can smell his deodorants from miles away. Just sniff him. Oranges. Interesting choice. As for his belongings, I better take another look. What's over here? How did I miss this? Is it weed? Oh, that smells nice. Refreshing. But why would you keep leaves of mint in your cigarette pack? I mean, you know, 2 in 1. I understand that. Yeah, the condom. Yeah, we know this. Okay. Here's your sick. Oh god. Here's your sick bag. Okay. Time to put 2 and 2 together. Nigel seems suspicious. Nigel is very suspicious. Because he has weird switch-ups about caring and not caring. Because if you know that people are dying left and right, why would you just waltz into an elevator with a stranger? Like, everything is fine. And then just keep your headphones on too. So I had to scream for him to actually hear me and talk to me and stuff like that. He also smells, apparently, which is a huge indicator that something is wrong with him in terms of whatever the hell that virus is, or what, maybe a zombie virus, I don't know. So he smells. That is a red flag in this universe. And I also find it a bit weird that he went on a tangent about how his grandmother died and stuff like that. It almost felt like he tried to you know, distract us from the fact that he's very suspicious because of his smell. Like, because he could be lying about having had that smell for like ages. He could have been lying about that. But just like he also tried to make us feel bad for him because of his grandma and stuff like. And I do feel bad for him, but I don't know. It's all very suspicious. It's very suspicious. However, I also just realized that Flynn is using perfume, and lots of it are probably too. So he could also be smelling, but he could be trying to hide it. And also the mint leaf in his cigarette pack, he could also be using that to hide like a certain smell. So I don't know. Both of them could be suspicious if we really think about it. He told a rather touching tale, but what if it's nothing more than a poor excuse? Exactly. What if it's just an excuse? What if it's just a method to distract us from what's actually going on? True, and Nigel had a knife. I already forgot about that. He had a knife. What does he need a knife for? Then again, maybe he has a knife just so he can maybe defend himself if something goes wrong. As a self-defense stuff, so I don't know. Flynn, on the other hand, seems incapable of smelling badly. Unless you disagree with his choice of deodorant. But then the mint leaf in his cigarette pack? What smoker does that? I mean, I don't know what smokers do. Maybe smokers do that. Also, working out is a perfect excuse to smash his scent with whatever he's using. To mask his scent with whatever he's using. I need a second opinion. Moss, are you there? Bellhop, come in. Hey, suppose someone is suspicious. Check your left chest pocket. What do you... Oh no. At ease. We don't want your drawing suspicion now, do we? What's this? It's a stun gun. Who gave me this? What is it doing here? Your manager provided you... Yeah, how are we so forgetful? Our manager gave us that. Your manager provided you with this so you could clean up any mess deemed necessary. Ronald. I didn't sign up for this. It's too late now, Jimmy. Now listen to me very carefully. You've heard their stories. You decide whether they pose a risk or not. As I said, to ensure everyone's safety, Ronald has turned the floor tile into a hatch. Drop any target you believe to be a danger in there. Understood? Whoa, 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 whoa. Let me think. Jimmy, we can leave them on the floor. Give them supplies. Maybe they won't turn. Jimmy. That way nobody has to get hurt. This can work. Jimmy. Yes? Ronald and I have talked about this. It has become too dangerous to leave them on an empty floor, on empty floors now. So what do they turn into though? That's what I want to know. You're wasting resources. On top of drinks and food, your manager mentioned cleaning costs in case they go full nuts. But more importantly, your precautions are temporary at best. Anyone with a bit of willpower, adrenaline, or drive to kill can barge through your staircases. We're spread too thin to provide any meaningful military defense there. We can't take the risk of allowing any sick inside. But this feels so wrong. Jimmy, we're counting on you. The outbreak survivors on that freighter are counting on you. If you let even one contaminated target slip through, the survivors will not only die, they will have died for nothing. Soon we'll have a vaccine ready. They can't die before that happens. Not to mention the research resources we're spending so they can be part of society again. So I ask again. Understood? Yes, ma'am. Now, go face everyone and make up your mind. Moss out. One thing I've learned over the years is to start with the most intimidating ones. Oh man, I don't know. I feel like Nigel is a bit more suspicious than Jimmy. Not Jimmy. Finn. Nigel is more suspicious than Flynn. I'ma spare him for now. He's fine. Flynn? Now that I've searched you, I can say you're clear. Of course I am. You really think I would smell bad? Now what about Nigel? I don't want to kill him, but he is very suspicious. Let's see what happens. Kill Nigel. Nigel? Yeah? I'm going to need to search you again. Why? Now, if you could turn around this time. What now? I forgot a spot. Please turn around. Aw, man. Oh, this feels wrong. This okay? Okay, now grab it. Yes, you're doing okay. This will be over quickly. Now turn it on. I'm sorry. What for? Oh, God. Ah, I feel so bad. What the f... I don't feel bad anymore. What is happening to you? Why is he melting? Oh, that looks so gross. So does that mean he was infected? Or... oh, Jesus. He looks disgusting. What have I done? Holy shit. What did you do to him? No one suspicious can leave. I didn't sign up for this. I'm out. Jimmy, no matter what, the door remains closed. Copy that, ma'am. Now you listen to me. Survivors of this outbreak depend on us. You're about to join them. But if one of you is sick, anyone waiting for us at that freighter is gone. You understand? Oh, jeez. Now open this hatch for me. Ew, he looks so gross. There he goes. Come on. Going up. What am I doing? I just killed someone. Was it the right thing to do? Was it? I don't know. I don't know anymore, but like... Why would he melt like that if he wasn't infected? I know one thing for sure. This day simply can't get any worse. What in the back rooms? What is this? Also, is this a child in there? Who's in there? This is creepy as fuck. Also, what are these random... Is that supposed to be like black hair or something? Also, this dude is creepy. Why do these have like eyes? This is a very unsettling floor. Why do... This day simply can't get any worse. Is this a prank? Hello? Is somebody there? Hello? Oh, no. Hello? What the fuck? Oh, Jesus. Hello? Miss... Oh, this is Miss Graves. Hey. Have you seen him? Seen who? There's like creepy whispering when she talks. The child. You mean this child up here? In this... in this weird tube thing? I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't follow. Don't feel sorry, handsome. I see you brought company. Yes, and we're a bit on a schedule, so I'll cut to the chase. Do you want to join me? I don't think... I don't want her in this elevator. Graves. I'd love to. Hehe. Can I search you? You may, but it's going to be a short search. How so? Look at me. What would I carry around? I'm just looking for my child anyway. Hehe. I see. Let me check. Hey, Ronald. Is Miss Graves on the list? Hello? Ronald? Hello? Miss Blonde left you hanging, huh? Mr. Blonde, yes. He looks so stunning that if I could eat him, I would... Oh my god. Should I let her in? No. No, we shouldn't. But it would be the... It would be funny if we did. I'll take her with us. Thank you. Just don't make me regret. Oh, we're so going to regret this. We absolutely will. Bellhop, come in. Yes? You need to hurry up. Rooftop's under attack. You copy that? Yes. We'll be there. ASAP, Bellhop. Okay, I guess we're going up. Something's off, you don't say. How did this evacuation go south so quickly? Probably because we let her in? How? What did I do wrong? It was definitely the bitch in this elevator right now with us. Is it someone I invited? Someone I turned down?
Oh.
What about Mom? Is she on that freighter? Are we there yet? Unknown. Yo, what's that? What's what? Oh, crap. Well, don't just stand there. Fix it. Let me call Ronald. Where is Ronald, bro? Why? Unknown? That's... Oh my god, we're being haunted. Shit. I can't reach him. Help! Hello? Hello, hello? Are we on top? I really don't want to die here. Me neither, bro, but... There's the weird hair again. What is this? There's hair everywhere. What is this Graves person doing? Finally. Ma'am, is my mom on that freighter? We have lost contact with the base. Now, get over here. Who's going on the chopper, Jimmy? What do you mean? I brought you 2 people. We're not coming back. One of the seats is for you. Okay. Okay, so one of the seats is for me. Alright, now I have confirmation on that one. So I ask again, who's joining? Pick one. What about Ronald? Is Flynn coming? Of course he is. I wasn't asking you, dipshit. Please. No, I think Flynn is okay. Nah, fuck him, his Graves, bro. Finn gets on the chopper. Thanks. Oh, we can choose to stay here. This doesn't feel right. Nah, Miss Graves does not deserve a seat. Mom, here I come. Let's go, people. For a long time, it was just dark until we saw it. With the freighter in sight, we thought we were safe. Are we safe? But were we? You must be Flynn. Flynn? Oh, yes? You can relax now. Soon we'll hit base, where you'll be looked after. That sounds good? Thank you for Oh man, this is it? Yes, thanks. Did we really make it? Did we? Maybe? We made it. Now where's Mom? Yeah, where is Mom? Oh man. Okay. I want to know what happens if... Wait, what do I want to see first? What do I want to see first? I think I want to see what happens if we kill Flynn and let Nigel survive. Also, hi Roxy. Thank you for streaking. Feels weird, man. Hi, I hope you're doing well. What? Okay. I think, okay, I'm gonna have to... I wish to... Does it have save points? No. Okay. We're just gonna speed through all of this. All of it.
Hey.
I just want to see what happens if we... Okay. First, I wanna, I'm EP, but wanted to streak in your chat real quick. Thank you so much. Please go get some rest, Roxy. Get some rest. Go to bed.
Yeah.
Okay, the first thing I want to do is kill Flynn, let Nigel survive, and then go on the plane with, on the helicopter with Nigel. Because I'm pretty sure Nigel is infected.
Hey.
Like that.
Yeah.
Then again, what happens if... Okay, hold on. We can actually see what happens if we kill Flynn instead. If he melts the same way, then that with Nigel didn't mean anything. Okay. Done.
Yeah.
Time is money, blah blah blah. I know, I know. At your service. You're infected with the Skibbity Ohio vent. Good night. Good night, Roxy. Go, leave. Man. An email, sure. Dear douche, do your rounds, check the floors, listen instead of talk. P.S. One sicko on the chopper and the whole operation is a failure. Sincerest regards, Moss. Well, that wasn't necessary. Well, yeah, no. This was absolutely necessary. I like her sass. Hi, Luna. How are you? Hello, hello.
Oh.
We're currently playing this game and I'm trying to get more endings or at least see what happens if we do the wrong choice. But I have to speed through everything now. Because this game doesn't have save points. Yeah, you can do it, Jimmy. You can do it. Doing alright? I'm happy to hear that. Okay. Also, there's like dead people here. I just realized that. I feel like Nigel killed all of these people. Lucy, what are you doing? Hmm? Yeah, he just straight up walks in without even paying attention to those people. But I still don't know what's up with the glasses that he had. Like the shades. With the help me on it. Okay. Yeah, he's a bit of an oversharer, but... T.I. Can I inspect this already? No, I can't. Okay. Yeah. Bust the charger, blah, blah, blah. I should ask him about his hallway. Hey, your hallway, what happened over there? Sorry if you can hear that. Lucy is chewing on cardboard right now. My hallway? Yes, your hallway. Broken tiles, puddle of whatever it is. And that music. Like it never stopped playing. Oh yeah, that rave never stopped. How come you never went crazy? As long as I have these, I'll be alright. Nothing brings me more peace than my own beats. Well, that's fair. Still, you must have gone mad. Or maybe other guests? Were you the only one on this floor? Yeah, I was pretty much alone. Well, that's funny. I'm sure we cleared that floor, and with we, I mean Mandy. She had the uneven ones to take care of. Let's follow Nigel and his story for now. Then how did... Oh, fuck, I pressed too quickly. All doors were left unlocked, and many had brought snacks and stuff. Oh, thank you for the stream streak, cheese guy. If this is true and I see Mandy again, I swear. Why can't you just do her job like everyone else? One more thing, though. Yes? That rave did stop shortly before you arrived. I went out to see what was going on. Next thing I know, I'm on this elevator. Talk about a lucky break. Thanks, Nigel. Yeah, okay. That makes him even more suspicious. Blah, blah, blah. He's fine. Even my mom knows. Don't expect pity from me. The guest list, Jimmy. Okay, yeah, okay. Ronald is talking about Nigel. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Next victim. God, I am so curious how the full game is gonna be. Because there's a lot, that's a lot of floors. Oh, I can ask him why he broke the mirror. But that's probably because... he went crazy up there. I would be too if I was locked up like that. Why did you break that mirror? What mirror? Oh. Well... If you guys wouldn't lock me up in here like some animal, then I wouldn't have to get pissed now, would I? True. Understood. Blah, blah, blah. This is all the same. Okay. This is also all the same. Yeah. I feel like it does belong. Yeah, it definitely belongs to him because he smells like it. Okay. Oh, what happens if I don't take him on board? No, actually, okay, no. We do this first. We take him on board. I want to see what happens when we kill him. If he also melts like that. Mm-hmm. Okay, and this is the headphone thing. Oh, stop. Let's intervene this time. Do I need to remind you who allowed you on this very elevator, sir? He looks so tired. Or shall I throw you out instead? Okay. Wait, why are we going so... Hold on. Why are we going so slow? It's... And what's with this noise? You trying to hypnotize me or something? That's the hotel's... Oh, and the smell? That you are fatty over there. Well... My turn to talk? Great, well... Disgusting. I'm a light one up. Oh, hell no. No smoking under my watch. Hello? Oh. Hey, give it back. That's mine. That's mine. Okay, and this is the news report again. No worries, I'm safe, guy. Wait, hold on. I clicked too fast. Okay, he smelled himself and he said, no worries, I'm safe, guys. But, you usually can't smell your own, you know, your own stank. Well, guess Fatso over here is about to kill us all. Bellhop. Okay. Alright, and this is the whole thing. He's flirting with Moss. Inspect Flynn. Okay, so this is the same. So I think the... Yeah. Doesn't matter who we inspect first. Okay. There was nothing else here. Alright. What about Nigel? Ah, yeah. Okay, and this is how... Yeah, okay. Right. This is how we find out about this. Alright. And now he's gonna tell me his sob story about his dead grandma, which is fine, but like... I just want to know about the smell. This was fine, but this turns out that has a fucking knife on him. Okay. Oh, we have everything in our... I didn't even see that last time. We have everything in our inventory. Alright. I really wish this game had save points. Even in demos, I feel like people... game developers should really consider putting save points in demos as well. Yeah, this is all the same. Okay, let's kill Flynn. Let's see what happens. Also, there's a typo here. This is Flynn. Flynn? Are you gonna pick up that cigarette behind you? Where? I'm sorry. What? Oh, I feel bad. Okay, let's see. Does he melt as well? No, he dies like a normal person. Okay, okay. What? Nigel, help me with the body. What? Just let me. Just do it. Damn, okay, no. So, okay. He died like a normal human being. Now, what about Nigel? I could kill Nigel, too. But no, I want to see what happens if I have Nigel on the helicopter. Spare him. Nigel? Yeah? You're as okay as I am. Glad to hear. Up we go. Copy that. Okay, and now we go to Miss Graves. Gotten out of bed, I swear. Sometimes I wonder whether this job is even worth it. Yeah, and this is the same. Okay, yeah. Now she's coming out of the balls. Hello. Seen who? The child? Blah, blah, blah. And you thought it was drowning in here? Can they really drown in here? Wow, how dense can one be? Sorry, I didn't mean to confuse... Don't feel sorry, handsome. I see you brought company. Oh, I wonder what happens when we are alone. Maybe she doesn't attack us because we have company with us? Going to be a short sword. Don't take her... I want to see. Don't take her on board. And here I was hoping I would join you, handsome. No worries, I'll be in touch. Whatever the fuck that means. Hi, Creely, Ellie and chat. Just popping in to say you are enough and the world is a better place with you. You have an amazing soul and beautiful personality. Keep being an awesome human being. Thank you, Creely. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for hopping in. Okay, rooftop is under attack. Okay. Okay, I want to see. I want to see what happens with Nigel, because he is 100% infected. Since I know that now. Can't reach him. Oh, that's Miss Graves trying to come up at us. Probably. Alright, open. Open up. I want to leave. Okay, let's go. We didn't have to choose anything here because we were only 2 people anyways. For a long time it was just dark until we saw it. With the frighter inside. We thought we were safe. But were we? Nigel, huh? Yes, ma'am. How are you holding up? Fine, I guess. Good. You sit tight now. There'll be a checkup once we're at base, okay? Yes, ma'am.
Drink
Did we
water,
make
keep
it?
hydrated,
Did we
bitch.
make it? Hello, hello, Black. Hello, hello. Thank you for the hydrate. Where's my other water? There it is. Okay, let's see. Did we make it? Hey, don't... Hey, don't touch my belt. Aw, shit, bro. He killed us all. Just popping in to hydrate you a lot, then going to bed since it's almost 3 a.m. Oh my god, go to bed. Thank you for popping in. It was good to see you. I hope you have a good night. Jesus, okay. So that's what happens when we have an infected in our... Okay, there's 2 more things I want to try out, so you'll have to bear with me in skipping everything. I want to see what happens when you go to the ball pit level, but you are alone. I wanna know what happens.
Hey.
Because her like commenting on I see you brought company is something. Maybe that means something. Oh,
Hey.
there we go. Alright. Let's speed through this as fast as possible. Yeah, blah blah blah. Ah. Okay. Sounds simple enough. I also want to see what happens when... Actually, I know what happens when I stay, but I still wanna... I still wanna find out. Oh, there we go. Yes, you can do it, Jimmy. You can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you. Okay, and Nigel just pops in, so we have to kill him. But we can turn Flynn down. And then we kill Nigel. I'm sure that's how it works, right? Yeah, blah blah blah. And the busted charger. Okay. I don't need his life story. Hi Ace, how are you? How are you? I hope you're doing well. Okay, blah blah blah. Don't mind me, I'm just skipping through everything because I want to see more outcomes. Yeah, Lynn. Yeah, let me up. I'm doing good, even better now that I'm here. I'm happy to hear that. 7 stream streak, let's go. Okay. Blah blah blah. Okay. Ah yeah. First check all of this stuff. Blah blah blah. And his perfume. How are you? I'm doing okay. Definitely better than yesterday. So that's something at least.
Hey.
Still not 100%, but you know, we get through it. Okay, I don't want to take Flynn on board this time. Know what? Fine. You guys are fake anyway. At our service is smile, begging for a dime, but when we need help you draw a line. Screw y'all. He was trouble anyways. Okay. I was hoping he would beat me up or something, but I guess Wait, what was that? The question remains, was he worth the trouble? This day is trouble enough as it is. Thanks, dude. I don't know, but that guy was freaking me out. Welcome back, Limey. Welcome back. May I ask why? Well, I don't feel comfortable talking about that with you. I get you. Just know I'm all ears. Thanks. His tattoo reminded me of my stepdad. He came into our lives, ate our food, drank our water, and never gave something back. And then one day he walked out. Mom was miserable after that. A real shark he was. Okay, you know what? He really lays it on thick with his little sob stories. But like, I know that he's infected. I won't be leaving my apartment for a year. Why is that, Limey? Why is that? I'm safe, guys. I don't know about that. Alright, we're stopping the elevator. And inspect him. And then we kill him. Wait. What? Wait. There we go. History. I'm sorry to say this, but he could use a shower. Oh, believe me, when we get out of here, I'll be cleaner than a baby. He does realize babies smell even worse, right? I don't think babies stink. Not the typical, like, bad smell stank that adults have anyways. Alright, yeah. I'm gonna kill him anyways. Blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear this sob story. Okay, belongings, and then his knife.
Oh.
Alright. Time to put 2 and 2 together. This isn't right. I need a... Yeah, okay. No, I don't need a second opinion. Okay. Yeah. I know. Hold on, Limey. I'm gonna read it in a second. Okay, we kill Nigel. Because taking the bus right now is impossible. The bus tracking app didn't want to work. Almost missed my bus simply because they had the wrong city showing, but thankfully another woman going to the same place as me asked if it was the right bus, and it was like, there's too much snow and it's too cold. It's that sounds like such an unpleasant day. I'm sorry. Ew. Should have been me going out. Okay, let's see what happens with the lady now that we're alone. Forever alone. I just want to see if I'm right with the assumption that there's like a special thing with her if we're alone. Hey. Blah blah blah, child. I see it. Oh, I see it's just you and me here. It sure seems that way, Miss Graves. Oh. Hehe. Hold on. Let me check. Hey, Moss, can you put me through to Ronald? Putting you through now. Oh, so now we can talk to Ronald. Okay. Yeah? Hey, Ronald? Jimmy, my boy, how's it going? It's going. Could you check whether Miss Graves is on the guest list? Where the fuck did she go? Shit, where did she go now? Miss Graves, huh? That nasty hag of a scarecrow? Yeah, she's right here. She's not here anymore, though. The hell is she up to? She checked out days ago, so no, not on the list. I have no clue why she... Oh, so now we get the sprite of her from the beginning. Hello, Jimmy? Oh.
Hey.
Jimmy? Jimmy! Jimmy, come in. Come in. Jimmy sounds delicious. Thank you for naming my mouth-watering meal. Well, rest in peace, Jimmy. That's it, bro. We just died. That's crazy, dude. That's insane. Well, okay, last thing, I swear. Last thing. I just want to see what happens if we stay behind. Howdy soon. Thank you so much. Thank you for the sub, for the resub. Thank you, thank you.
Hello, motherfucker.
Hello, hello. I hope you're doing well. Thank you. Hi.
Hey.
Truly is, and it's always like this time around of year. Literally nothing works. Like yesterday, I got kidnapped by the bus driver, and nothing is ever on time or correct. Kidnapped by the bus driver? What the hell do you mean? As long as we can draw, we are doing well. I'm happy to hear that. I saw that your main Regent account is back. I'm very happy about that.
Hey.
There we go. But Limey, what do you mean kidnapped? Thank you, you're so sweet. No, you. This fucking beeping noise, bro. There we go. I just wanna... okay. I guess we just keep Nigel and Flynn alive and just have them get on the helicopter instead. Actually, no, it might actually... I'ma leave Flynn here. And I take Graves on the elevator. Yeah, I think this is the fastest route. I think that's the fastest route. When we turn down Flynn. And just get Graves on the elevator and then we go straight up. I think that's the fastest one. Okay. Oops. Foxy, thank you for the lark. Thank you, thank you. She didn't know I was still on the bus, so she just drove to the other side of town to fix the tires. And I at first didn't notice, and then I got too shy to say something. Limey, you gotta speak up. Like, did you miss your stop or something like that? What happened? You know what? I'm a run ads real quick while I do this. Not like we're missing much. Okay. In fact, we're not missing anything because we went through everything already. Okay. Okay. Cigarettes. This one. And his perfume.
Hey.
I'm sorry, Flynn. I know you're a good guy, but... At your service, blah blah blah. Okay. No more life stories, Nigel. No more life stories. No, it was just me and another guy on the bus the entire ride, and she thought I had already gotten off. I guess I was too small to be seen, so instead of going to the final stop, aka the end destination, she just turned around instead. But I'm way too much of a pussy to say anything. Livy, you gotta speak up. You gotta speak up, Livy. Jesus. Ay. Alright, no, the comb is what... Okay. There we go. Done. Next time I get bus kidnapped, I will. I mean, I hope it doesn't happen again. But still. Yeah. We let him live. Alright. And now we go get Miss Graves real quick. And then we're done. Okay. Thank Lord I made it to my second bus on time somehow. The first bus was set to arrive on at the final destination at 14:45. And my second one was set to leave 14:45, but I still made it on time. Well, that's good. At least that was lucky enough. Yeah, take her with us. Okay, now the rooftop is under attack. So we go up. Whoa, easy there. Okay. Well, I'm sorry to say, Jimmy, but you are going to die here. Please, I need to see my grandma's grave. Is crazy. His sob stories are crazy. Okay, you can go. You're lucky. This doesn't feel right. Leave your seat for someone else. Moss, I'm leaving my seat for someone else. You sure? Positive. Then it's settled. Miss Graves, can you get a move on? Oh, handsome. Thank you so much. I'm really going to miss you. Yeah, sure. Wish I could say the same. Let's go, people. And just like that, they were gone. Off to the... Okay. Off to the freighter. The calls I made, were they safe? Nope. Nigel, huh? Yes, ma'am. How are you holding up? Blah, blah, blah. They really... I wonder... Nah, I'm not gonna try that, though. Hey, oh. She disappeared. Hey, where did she go? Don't touch my belt. Okay. Alright, so that's what happens with... Okay. I saw the thing I was curious about. Damn, bro. Hi, Einstein. Hallo. Magnifico. Well, that's for this game. That's really cool. I'm very curious about the full game. Hi, Greasy. I'll be lurking since I'm still studying. Say hello to Einstein for me, please. I will. Einstein. Hello. Greasy says hi. Yeah, he is. He says hello back. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I guess that was that. Oh, hi. Okay, I think he wants to come cuddle. Let's see. Come here. Come here. Hi. Yeah, I know. Okay, let's see. It's already been 2 hours, so I'm not gonna start the other game anymore. My throat also feels kind of ass right now, so I think we're gonna call it here for today. 2 hours is good enough. Let me turn this off. There we go. I'm gonna just stay looking tired because this is how I feel right now anyways. I see that Nibby is playing Cyberpunk. So you know what we're gonna do. We're gonna go over to Nibby, give her some love. Oh. That was loud. Jesus. There we go. Okay. We're gonna go over to Nibby. Why can I not type? Hello? Right, the fish nibbler. And I hope I'll see you guys tomorrow for more games. We'll see. But yeah, go enjoy some Cyberpunk. And I will see you tomorrow. If this raid works, why is it not working? There it is. Jesus, Twitch is really slow today, it seems. But yeah, there we go. I'm gonna send you guys over. And yeah, I'll see you guys. Bye bye.